And welcome back, everybody. In today's edition we're going to learn how to felt. Never felted a day in my life, and you know what? This is going to be a true live tutorial because the fact is I've never done it before. So we'll actually see if this is actually a really easy procedure to do or not. What you're going to need today is that you're going to need some yarn, and it has to be 100% wool. 100% wool. Okay, you've probably seen in sitcoms where people pull it out of the dryer and it's a comedian joke where they pull it out and it's way too small. Well, it has to be wool because of the way that the felting process will work, just like you see here. You're going to need 2 tablespoons of baking soda for the washing machine, so make sure you have that. Also, the colors will bleed. Okay, they say that it won't, but why take a chance? You're going to need something that you can throw in the washing machine to go with your particular project so that it can agitate against something in order to create the felting effect. There's also great pattern books on the market. This one happens to be a Peyton's one, and thank you so much, Peyton's. They've allowed me to knock off their wine bottle cover here and actually convert it with the same kind of ideas, but convert it to crochet. But I'm actually going to be just using this for a handbag, so I've actually increased the size even more, and the pattern will be available on allfreecrochet.com as well as thecrochetcrowd.com. Now, with my friends telling me about felting, they say that there's a shrinkage factor, which I already kind of know about already, and so things will shrink. So if you're making a hat for yourself and you decided to felt with it, if the hat fits you before you decide to felt with it, don't expect it to fit after you've gone through the process. They claim that every 4 inches you will shrink 1 inch. So that means that a 4-inch swatch before it goes through the felting will turn into 3. That means that it's about a 25% shrinkage factor. Every yarn is different, so you want to make sure that you're actually using yarn that is actually going to work. So my thing here is that I've never felted a day in my life, so I'm interested to see how much this shrinks. It's an 8-inch diameter right now with a 13-inch height, and I'm interested to see how much this is going to shrink. You got to make sure that you use 100% wool. If you don't use that, you're out of the game when it comes to felting, because it's just like washing a regular Afghan. It will come out just pretty well the same way that you put it in. Now with washing, it's the hot water that is going to get into the moisture of the fibers, and because the wool fibers are actually shorter, it's going to cause it to break apart and start snapping apart, just like so. And then the cold water, when it goes through, it's going to start balling up and really grabbing onto each other so that it forms what appears to be the felting. Really kind of a fabulous idea. I was thinking as I was going through this process, it took me 6 hours to get this far, that I didn't really want to take a chance and do stitches that were really not cool. It's all about the stitches. You want your stitches to be nice and tight, so you don't want to be using a double crochet or a triple crochet because you will still see your stitches. Now, they recommended a single crochet, but I've heard people do half double crochet. So if you want to try it either way as a swatch, you can do so. It's not a very hard thing to do. I spent 6 hours to make this particular bag. Everything that you see, I kind of cheated a bit too. You know, single, when you're actually doing slip stitching up, okay, it actually creates a line. So what I just did is that you can kind of see that I cast it off one color and kept going. So it's kind of misaligned on the one side. That's kind of my own thing, because I didn't want a gap, because I just don't want to go through all the process and then have like these lines that are all separating when it comes out of the washing machine. So right now my bag is 8 inches diameter and it's 13 inches tall, and I'm very curious to see what size this is going to end up being. Now this was a pattern from Peyton's, and they allowed me to knock off the pattern in a crochet, but instead of actually doing a wine bag just like so, I've decided to do a handbag, and I'm very curious to see what the difference of this will be after I'm done with it. So let's head on over to the washing machine and get this all started and see if the felting process. Over here at the washing machine, and all we just need to do is just check the washing machine to make sure that we are going to have hot and cold water, and it's also going to be on a regular cycle as we do so. So now I just got to grab my towel and my work, and we're going to test it from this point. I'm going to put in a couple tablespoons of baking soda, just like so, in, shut that. I'm going to make sure my towel is nice and opened up. So I put it in, and here goes nothing. I am so nervous. You have no idea. Shut it. Set it. And hopefully this is going to work out really amazing. I'm so actually excited to see what this is going to look like, and I'm hoping it's not going to wreck my project in the end. So remember, you need the towel in there in order to create the agitation. It's the agitation of rubbing against other things. Remember, the color is going to bleed, so well, they say it might bleed, so why take a chance? This is the coolest load of laundry. I can already tell that the color is starting to bleed. There's actually a pinkish tinge to the water, so it's a good thing I used an old towel. Are you done yet? So it's only been going for a few minutes, and it's definitely hot. It's really good. But I noticed that when it stops, I really can't see the stitches in the project anymore. It seems like maybe it's working. Oh, this is so exciting. I swear to God, I'm so nuts sometimes. I'm filming while I'm at the washing machine. Okay, here's the moment of truth. Did it work? What do you think of that? So you can still see a little bit of my stitches. Oh my God, it totally thickened this stuff up. I love it. And you know what it was? I wonder what the shrinkage factor on that was. So let's go into the studio again and let's compare the finished size. This is really so much different than what it went in as. So, due to live camera, we have the really true results of what it will look like. So you can see knitting, just like so, versus the crochet. So the crochet, you can still see the single crochet stitches in there, but definitely it has puffed out. I noticed that where I had changed colors in the way that I do it, some of those have slipped out, so you can just trim that as well. I did notice that the towel has some fibres that are kind of worked into this as well, so the towel kind of leaked onto it as well. Overall, I'm really excited about it. It's definitely a lot stronger wise, and look, it's sitting up on its own where it never did that before. So now what I have to do is I have to roll this in a towel and get all the extra moisture out, but I'm dying to know what the actual size was. So here is a live shot of it. And I noticed it's kind of bell shaping. Don't know why that is. It shouldn't have happened that way. But it's about a 7. Okay, 7. And the height is now 11. So it was 13. So it was actually this high before it went in there, and it has shrunk an inch in on a diameter. And that's not bad. And so what I'm going to do now is that I'm going to leave my studio, and this is considered done. And with the actual particular project that we're working with, the Christmas 12 Gifts of Christmas, because this is now felted up, you can actually cut. They claim that you can cut at any point. You can cut circles out of this thing, and because it's felted now, it will not fall apart. So I'm scared to do that. So I'm going to do the same concept that they had on the paintings here, where I'm going to break some holes, do some yarn, and then voila, I've got a bag then to go. But the first step is let it dry, and when it dries, you've got to make sure you have the shape that you want it before it dries, because it will dry and be permanently the shape that you wanted. So there's a base on the bottom here, so I want to make sure that that's nice and flat, and this overall. Oh yeah. Before I go, this is what I noticed. You remember I told you in the beginning is that I didn't want to slip stitch because I didn't want a line? Well, the whole point about it is that now that I see it all done, it's actually not too bad because it has condensed. The lines actually look a lot more consistent than it did before it went into the washing machine. So overall for that, I'm actually not bad. So now I have a bag that actually does look good, and you can do that concept pretty safely without really calling too much attention that you can. I can see an addiction happening. So on behalf of allfreecrochet.com, as well as thank you to my friends over at Payton's for allowing me to knock off their pattern, as well as the crochet crowd, I'd like to thank everybody for watching this tutorial today. Until next time, I'll see you.